Yo, what's going on, y'all, man? Not gonna waste too much time because as you all know, Bills
Ben's
fans,
week.
yeah, man, football fans, we
Ben's
can't
week.
Leotis McKelvin once said it one week, you know what I mean, back in the day, 13 years ago. Well, probably farther back than that. But
Probably
anyways,
more than that for talking Leotis.
yeah, right. But nah, it's rivalry week, fans week, squish the fish, however you want to put it together.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Before we jump in, I feel like that we never introduce ourselves. Like this is in the zone with V and Z. Like I feel like we never actually give the title up pod.
right,
So
you right.
let's actually do it right for once. You are tuning in with Vel and Zyrus for in the zone with V and Z. Just before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we can actually
That's a fact. You know, I mean, we kind of take it for granted because
do
we
it
feel
right this
like,
time.
yeah, we feel like the same, gang of people listen every week. But it is good, like you said, to introduce those who are watching for the first time, who are listening. Yes, this is Val. That's my man Z, and you are definitely tuning into In the Zone with V and Z. So, catch us every Thursday. We try to keep it consistent. Like I said, sometimes in person, sometimes not. But those who've been locking in with us the last year and a half know we like to do our best to keep up with y'all because I mean we all know it. But I mean Z got his own shit going on over there. I got
Life be life.
it gets busy. That's why if you've ever wondered, we don't have like no set studio or whatever currently, but we still connect weekly, and I know during the summer, the spring we go bi-weekly, but we glad, man, we glad to be able to set aside 45 minutes to an hour with y'all each week just so we can cover some of the fun stuff from the previous week, and obviously recap a beautiful win when it happens, and sometimes it's a hurtful
Mhm.
loss. Either way, we
We
here,
here.
baby. So as we did last week, man, we go in reverse. I do want to start off with views from the couch. Or wherever you was at, Z. I ain't gonna say you was on the couch. You could have been in a recliner. You know what I mean? You
Feel
could have
like
been
you
standing
feel
up.
like you just keep capping on me back to back weeks, talking about views from the couch, and
It
you
was
only talking about me
Hey
of the
man.
couch.
Well, listen, man, we know where you're gonna be at
Good
this.
night, Cyrus.
Good night, Z. Um,
Yeah, that
yeah,
move.
so we know where you're gonna be at this coming Sunday, so we don't have to use that same term
Yeah,
this week.
you can't use that next week. Ain't no views from the couch this
Yeah,
upcoming week. But my
yeah.
views from the couch from this past week, since I didn't have the pleasure of being in FedEx Field in person, like some people I know
Yeah, yeah.
on this pod. So nah, bump that. You give your point of view first. You was in the spot in person, live and indirect. Let me hear your views from what you saw in the stands.
Yeah, so first time me being out there, and that
How trash was that stadium?
it was pretty normal. I mean, I don't want to throw the word trash around there, but I've
Looking
been
like all high.
nah, I ain't gonna that far. All high is wow, but nah, like I've probably now been to maybe I've been to a good handful of stadiums, and it definitely is not at the top of my list, but I will say the vibe there was still much like a Bills road game. We take it over the best way we can do, and that's by taking over in bunches. I would have to say it seemed like more than half of the fans there was us. And I just want to start with that. It's like the overall good weekend. Got a chance to meet Eric Mose this weekend, one of my favorite players all time.
Oh man, I was so jealous when I heard that. I said,
Yeah,
dang.
yeah. He was in the house at a event that we went to on Saturday night. Aaron Williams, shout out to Aaron Williams. I think Lee Evans was in the building too. I didn't get a chance to shake his hand. Eric Wood, bunch of other reporters. Shout out to our guy Josh Reed for, helping out where he could. Having some shots, drinks with him, and of course the whole gang, Browns family. You already know how we do. So, yeah. So
Mhm.
overall, good weekend. But fast forward to the game, it was what you would want, and which is taking care of business, right? You play a team that you're supposed to be better than. Now, we both said the game would we really both admitted last week we didn't think it would be a blowout. We kind of said, I think I said like, maybe they win by 10 points. I think it was 27-17 or something like that, but I thought we could I thought we could sneak into a double-digit win, but had no idea they could win the game 30 plus, right? But they dominated the game, which kept our energy high in the stadium. Obviously, Commander fans, you know what I mean? They was cool though, but they was just like,
I'd
God.
have dipped early in that game. I said, no,
I
I'm
listen,
not seeing this.
I was trying to tell a few, like, hey, listen, if y'all want to beat traffic, like we not gonna be mad. Like I know some of y'all
Like,
trying
it's
to
raining too. Yeah, no, I'd have dipped.
yeah, I know y'all trying to sit tight and be supportive and hope that maybe Josh Allen make one of his, bad decisions. But nah, all in all, man, the Bills ran the ball well. They contrived they controlled the line of scrimmage, which I love seeing, from the Bills, because that's something that McDermott been preaching now for the last 4 or 5 years, and he just
Yeah.
hasn't had it on both sides of the ball. Like if it's been the defensive line, it's been the defensive line. Offensive line has always been about average or below average. This is the first time through 3 weeks I can say in the majority of the action that we've seen, they're dominating both sides of the line, which is very important in the passing game as well, run game, and then obviously when we're on defense, when you got guys like Greg Rousseau, Ed Oliver causing havoc, and Leonard Floyd giving you back-to-back sacks. Like I don't even know when the last time I've seen a DN outside of maybe Von Miller in a Bills uniform go back-to-back plays with a sack, where it's just like, all right, I just got a sack, but I'm coming back again with another one. But I'm gonna hit you with a different move this
He
time.
he beat old boy clean on that
Yeah, clean.
second trip.
Yeah, he stepped out
He didn't
wider
get a
and
hand
said,
on.
boom. And from where I was at, it was a couple of times where I didn't even see who the person was. It was just like sacked again by da da da. And I'm just like, damn, we just really just going like this. But nah, it was love. It was exciting to see obviously the offense move the ball down the field when they had to. I mean, it wasn't sexy on offense. I think they went into the fourth quarter up 16-0. So I mean that left some fans like, and there was a couple second downs that of course left fans like, okay, we getting too much in this third and long, but thankfully we have a quarterback who sometimes on third and long can make shit happen, right? He can escape for 14 here,
For
can
sure.
here. Oh, you're bringing pressure this way. I'm gonna slide this way and find Diggs. I think one of the best throws of the game was that one third down throw to Diggs, maybe 25 yards down the field, where he's like falling backwards. I think you commented on it on Twitter, I think the other day.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll touch on that later.
yeah, that was probably a throw today. I mean, the throw to Gabe was nice, and there was a couple other throws that he threw. I think one in the back of the end zone. And he threw it 30 yards down the field to Diggs. But like Josh constantly reminds us, like, even when we have a subpar offense performance, and I'm saying subpar, like we didn't score 30 plus, but even when the offense isn't looking sexy, Josh can give us 2 to 3 moments in a game where he reminds us where we're like, all right, like I can't be mad that you might throw a pick here and there when you're doing shit like that, because some of those throws, there's only one other person in the league that can make them, and his name is Patrick Mahomes. And we can forget about all them other names. The other names is cute. Love Lamar to death, but he not throwing it like that. Joe Burrow is cool. He not throwing it like that. Jalen Hurts is cool. He not throwing it like that. Only two guys in the league who can make those type of throws, and that's Josh and Patrick. So I was good. I was good with the result, of course, defensively. Before we go over our favorite players from the game, I just got to say shout out to Terrell Bernard. He's a guy who we talked about weeks ago, and even shit last week too. We was both trying to be optimistic about the situation. I know you were more optimistic than me because I was just like, well, my man Christian Kirksey, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just a little hurt about that. When that news came out, like, yeah,
Yeah,
Kirksey down for the retirement. I'm like, damn, Val.
yeah.
I said, boy,
I take it, but I take it all in stride though. Like I always tell people, and we're gonna go view the couch in like 2 seconds. I always tell people at the end of the day, I'm not in that building 24/7, so I don't really know
right.
what they're seeing. Like I don't know, because I did say this though a few weeks ago, like for Kirksey to miss as much time as he did in the last 3 4 weeks of training camp preseason and still get that job, it kind of told me something, a low key. I was like, oh, so y'all must have really been like, really hoping this guy was going to take this position, because for y'all to be like, all right, fresh off a hamstring, yeah, you start in week one. They must have seen enough. Spring,
Yeah.
whatever. So that's where I'm at. Like I said, shout out to the whole D line. Shout out to Terrell. Shout out to the offense for being able to punch it in when they need to. And Shout out to the fans, Bills Mafia. So what you got for me, man?
Yeah, I was gonna say first shout out for me was gonna be Bills Mafia because even on TV you can tell that there was a quite amount of Bills fans in the stadium. Just the chance, the amount of noise on third down when Washington had the ball. I'm like, oh, okay, we out there. I said, okay, we out there. But offense was efficient. It wasn't sexy, but it was effective. It was efficient. It was controlled. It was methodical. I mean, whatever adjective you want to use, they moved up and down the field. I mean, granted, it wasn't. I still wouldn't say it was their A game. Still
Right.
think they left a good amount of points on the field. First first down success wasn't amazing. Couple sequences, couple drops. Gabe Davis had a drop over the middle. Knox dropped what should have been a touchdown on that first drive.
They could have easily dropped
But
50.
all in all,
They could easily drop
yeah,
50. We could
I
say it.
think so. Yeah, I think they were there. But again, at the end of the day, when the offense put up still 30 points plus, I can't complain anything about that. It's just nitpicking. But Josh was in control of the offense. It kind of took a little bit of time for the run game to get going, but once it did, they were cooking. And that O line held up great against all them first round studs on that D line.
Right.
Again,
Because
I
you
mean,
know
we
what?
talked about the names all last week, and I mean, they held their own. They were consistently winning, especially in pass protection. Like I mean, they did an excellent job. But stars of the day all come from defense, man. I mean, to walk out of there with 9 sacks is is crazy. I mean, we know Howell's a quarterback that holds onto the ball for as long as humanly possible, but
He was
for
bad.
any team to walk in and get 9 sacks,
Right.
you doing something right. And it was across the board. I
Yeah,
mean, I think
everybody.
there's like 3 or 4 people had multiple sacks that game. Like it's
Yeah, Terrell Bernard had multiple. Leonard
yeah,
Floyd had one.
Floyd,
Ed Oliver had one.
man, I think yeah, someone else had 1.5, I believe, also.
Right.
But
Uh,
to get
yeah.
to get that much pressure and the pressure rate, I mean, was through the roof, let alone the sacks they got. I mean, he was pressured on over 30% of passes. Like
Yeah, I think they said the
that's
overall total was like 68 or 69%. Like that's nuts.
yeah, which is what you want me to do. Like
Yeah, I can't
I
do.
can't. What you want me to do, dog? And they
You
held
ain't,
up
you ain't got Mike Vick back there like running from people.
right. They held up great against Dotson and McLaurin and Samuel. I mean, I think they each maybe had a good catch or two here or there, but nothing that was overly threatening. I think McLaurin had one little semi-long one, but
Yeah.
obviously it ain't resulting in points. So defense held up great. Bernard had himself another game. I mean, he's right in the middle of that defense is balling. 2 sacks, fumble recovery, interception. My man is literally leading his defense right now and
He
is
getting
putting up splash plays left and right.
right.
So it was good to see that. Good to see Micah Hyde and Trey White back in the interception column. I mean, they both obviously missed a lot of time in the last year and a half. So to see them both get back into the swing of things, it was nice just to see. I'm happy for them individually to get their hands on that ball again. So
Because on the
all in all, it was a great game.
right, and I was just gonna say it's just contagious too. Because if you see, it's just like in my environment at work. I always say when you see one person get a big sale, you want to be next. And it's
Hmm?
the same thing on the football field. When you see that one person get that touchdown, you want to be like, shit, I know mine's coming. Like James Cook, I know he licking his chops. Like, yo, next joint
Yeah, man.
get, I swear to God, I'm hitting turbo mode. I already know that's how James Cook thinking. And
Broke
what better week,
long. I'm like,
huh?
you better get in that. I said we broke that long one. I said you better get in the end zone. If not,
Right.
Murray coming in.
My man was
Back.
close. Oh yeah, because Murray gonna come and bring the hammer or Damian Harris. So I know Cook is hungry, and then defensively, I know Jordan Poyer want to get his. I know Benford want to get his. I know Milano want another one. You know what I mean? I know, anybody who you want to think of. I mean, when you got your defensive ends grabbing interceptions and running them back, shout out to AJ Epinesa. That make your defensive ends want to get a part of it. Greg Rousseau. So like, I love the fact that everybody is getting in on the success. Like we really can't. I mean, outside of our usual Josh Allen and Diggs, we really can't point to one person throughout this back-to-back weeks of domination who really held it together. Everybody's really played a part from, like I said, from Milano to Bernard to Tre'Davious to Micah.
Yeah, and I definitely need to point out, I mean, Ed Oliver has been playing out of his mind these first all three of these weeks. And he's leading the team in pressures. Like he's dominating in the run game, he's shedding double teams. Like he is
Yeah.
playing up to the potential
Of what we drafted him for when he was number 9 overall. Like he looks like the number 9 overall pick
right.
from what was it, 4 or 5 years ago. Like this is what we wanted. When I remember I was at your crib actually when we watched Ed Oliver get drafted. I remember being excited because we knew what he did at Houston. We knew he was the type to blow shit up. Like that was his calling. Was like, you put me on the line, I'm gonna
I'm
make
fucking shit up.
I'm gonna make 3 or 4 splash plays where you're gonna be like, oh shit, this nigga Ed Oliver ain't, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and we knew that coming in the NFL, there was gonna be some type of adjustment because being 280, 285, 290 playing his position isn't ideal. Only few can do that. Aaron Donald obviously is a freak of nature. So we can't expect
Right.
everybody to just be Aaron Donald size and just dominate. Like, no, Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald for a reason. Um,
One
but
of one.
but that being said, Ed Oliver does have that potential, and he's still young. He's still only about 26 years old to be a Pro Bowl D tackle. And one of the best tackles in the game if he keeps it
Mhm.
consistent. And I think one thing he mentioned in a post game I saw a day or two ago was that, hey, he's just like, hey, I feel healthy. He was like, and a lot of times, he's like, that's all it is. He's like, I had people texting me. He's like, man, that's healthy, Ed. He's like, that was healthy, Ed, that y'all seeing out there. And hey, I love it because
Yeah.
I'm not one for excuses, but if you feeling good, I expect you to ball out like that on a consistent basis. And that's all we've ever wanted as fans is just be consistent. You hear fans talk about Gabe Davis. We're like, hey, Gabe, be consistent. Hey, Dawson Knox, be consistent. So the more consistent our top level players are, we already got 6 or 7 all pro players on the team, over the course of 3 seasons. That's why when people talk about the Bills and the expectations going into the season, I almost laughed at every single analyst because I'm like, you guys are acting like all of these all pros just disappeared. Trey White was an
Right.
all pro in the league. Micah Hyde was an all pro. Jordan Poyer, Matt Milano, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. That's 6 right there. Not to mention Von Miller. Like, so I'm like,
Yeah.
unless they just died and I didn't know about it, y'all can't pretend like these guys can't strap up, win healthy, and dominate football games. And that's what they're showing you the last 2 weeks is, hey, my man Von not back. But until he does get back, watch us put in work because guess what? Our safety tandem is back.
So fast before he's back.
And
I
that's
mean,
the thing.
we a mere matter of weeks. I mean, we had week 3. He only has to miss 4.
Right. We talking 2 weeks. And
Like
yeah.
my man, this time 2 weeks now, he's
Yeah,
practicing.
we gonna be
No,
talking about well, yeah,
he's
really
practicing.
after this Miami game, this is the 4th game. We may get that
Eligible to start practicing.
right. He's
If they
eligible.
practice before they leave, oh, he probably gonna be there.
Right. So a lot to look forward to with Vine. But anyways, the main reason for the show today, we're gonna get right to it because we don't want to waste too much time. It's Miami. It's Finn's week. We know Miami put up 70 points. We know 2 of them throwing no look passes. Tyreek Hill is calling the fan base just any old regular fan base. All right, that's cute. I know you
Oh, he
like.
said that?
Yeah, it's been getting passed around tonight. I know we're recording. This is Wednesday night, so I seen it posted up a couple hours ago. So if
Oh,
this
I
guy
didn't see that.
come out, yeah, he kind of if you put in your phone, maybe on Twitter, Tyreek Hill and Bills Mafia, it might pop up. But he just kind of like, I guess one of the reporters asked him, like, how's it playing, in front of one of the better fan bases of the league. And I think his just response was just like, it's just like playing any other team, any other stadium. He's just like, ain't no different, et cetera, et cetera. So, of course, some of the people had to post it, retweet it, whatever, with their own little comments. And I'm just like, all right, we gonna see. Because I'm telling you right now, the game get hectic, and we know the game can go either way. But if the game get hectic and it gets to the point where the fans can get involved and we can use our voice, which we'll do off the jump anyway. But bro, It could be the loudest he ever heard. Now I know the guy done played in Kansas City, but Kansas City was always on his side. But as far as opposing, I don't know if he I don't know if he ready for what he might get on a 76-degree day in Buffalo.
Yeah, they was here for the playoff game last week or last year.
Right, and that was obviously the energy was high, but it was Skylar Thompson, and we know the
That's
Bills.
Cap talking though. That's Cap talking about just any other fan base. Like,
Right, we,
come
we know
on.
what that is. Yeah, I mean but we know how he is. He want to poke the bear when he wants to, and guess what? Right now he playing like one of the best players, which he is. Physically he's one of the most talented receivers to probably ever put on a helmet in the
Yep.
NFL. Like it is what it is. Like we can hate it, but the guy's talented. So we'll see. But first thing you're looking for, best matchup, however, whatever angle you want to take. What's the matchup you most excited for this Sunday?
It's so many. It's you have a great offense in Miami versus what I consider a great defense in Buffalo.
Definitely
You
agree.
gotta consider Buffalo still the great offense in Buffalo against an okay defense. Like
Okay.
it's so much going on. Like how the corner is gonna hold up against all the speed.
Right.
Oh, and the safety. We have a solid secondary, had a solid secondary for years, but what you can't confuse our secondary with is extremely fast and extremely athletic.
Right.
We have solid players, but it's not neither of our safeties are what we'll consider fast. Trey White is not fast when it comparative to the speed Miami's bringing. Let me put it like that. Because they're not slow players by any stretch, but again, compared to the track speed that Miami's coming with, the only person we really got that got them type of horses is probably Elam. And the way things are trending, he's probably not even with a jersey on Sunday.
Right.
So, seeing how that secondary holds up to the speed is going to be crucial. Seeing if the line, D line, can even get close to Tua. I mean, he has so far this year the fastest release of any quarterback in the league,
Right.
and they get the ball fast. I mean, he's not even getting hit, he's not even getting touched just
100%.
because they've been so effective in getting the ball out quick. So, can we take away his first read?
Yeah.
Can we put a little bit of pressure on him? Because again, if they're not taking away a first read, it's just going to be quick, quick passes. And again, they're not even dumping off. Their passes are still down the field. I think they're leading the league in yards per attempt. So it's not like it's just dump offs. They just get the ball off quick. They got these fast ass receivers.
Right.
You blink, the boys already 15 yards down the field.
Right.
So can they take away his first read, force him to have to go through his progressions and get that D line the extra second they need to cause some havoc? Because again, if they force him to hold that ball and open himself up to them pressure, that happy feet gonna start.
Yeah.
Especially because he's not used to getting contact. If he's getting that consistently on Sunday, it's a different story.
Right. And that's the thing. Like when like I know you said a lot because essentially there's so many different matchups to key on for this game, but like that our defense versus their offense is the match of this game. Like that like to be honest, there's no one-on-one. I mean, you can say Trey, you could say our
It's
second.
everything.
Yeah, you could say our secondary versus their wide receivers. You can say their fast running backs versus our
Yeah,
fast linebackers.
because they got track stars
Right.
in Mostert and McCain who are all crazy fast. So it's speed all over that defense or all over that offense. Excuse me.
Yeah, here's what I like, and this is some bias thrown in there. Here's what I like about the Bills defense, though, this year especially, is that number one, we've only allowed 2 offensive touchdowns in 3 weeks, and it's not to say we've played great offenses yet. Jimmy G and the Raiders, we already know about them. Zach Wilson and the Jets, we already know about them, and then we got young Sam and some good skill players over there in Washington, but we already know they should have been shut down to 0 points. But anyway, thing I like about the Bills defense right now, early in the year, while they're healthy, is that on all 3 levels, they can give you something that 99% of teams in the league can't give you. On the back end, what they don't have in speed and athleticism, they make up for in experience and discipline. On the second level, at linebacker, where most teams can get taken advantage of with a savvy tight end or a fast running back. We can match you and say, hey, Terrell Bernard, you cover this guy, Matt Milano, you cover this guy as well. Oh, and also in a pinch, if I need you to, I need you to come hard on a blitz and get your hand on the quarterback. Both linebackers can do both of those things. 99% of teams don't have that. And then we get to our front four. Our front four is really, we should call it our front nine. So not too many teams outside of Philadelphia and maybe San Francisco can bring you 9 guys who can impact your
in
pass.
waves.
And here's the thing that I like about that 9 is that they all bring a lot of different things to the table. So run stuffing ability, they have the length to get their hands up to block passes, to even intercept passes. We've seen Greg Rousseau do it last year against Kansas City. We've seen Epinesa now do it last week. So we got guys who can impact the passing lanes by getting their hands up, but who can also be quick enough around that corner, like a Leonard Floyd, to get to you in less than 2 seconds. So the thing that I love about this team right now, while they're healthy, like I said, last year when they played Miami both times, neither time was the defense fully healthy. This is the closest they'll get to being fully healthy on defense. Because I even feel like when Von get back, somebody else is going to be nicked up. It's just the way the game goes. This is about as close as they're going to get to being healthy on defense with all of those guys. And I just feel like on all 3 levels, they bring something to the table. Miami's not going to see all year. Like, I know Miami got to play Philadelphia later, but I'm talking all 3 levels. Like, Philadelphia's D-line is great. Philadelphia is still going to give up 20, 24, 27 points a game because they can't do it on all 3 levels. The Bills, the reason why I believe they'll finish number 1 on defense this year is because they can really, on all 3 levels, bring something to the table that teams just can't do. So that's why I say the matchup of this game, in a nutshell, is Miami's high-flying offense versus our veteran defense. And it's the battle of who going to win that game, McDermott versus McDaniels. The mix.
I think the matchup it's just coaches. It's going to be McDaniel's offense versus McDermott's defense.
Yep.
And who's going to be able to have a counterpunch? Because again, these NFL coaches are the best to do it when it comes to scheming up stuff. So, it's only a matter of time before someone figures out Miami's offense. Could it be this week? Yeah. Could it be a month from now? Yeah. But what do you do when Miami counters? What are they going to do when the Bills come up with something different? So how are they going to adjust to what's taking place? Because again, I got a feeling Bills are going to do something different that other teams haven't done.
It definitely is. McDermott, I got to add this too. McDermott is funny because he'll smirk and he'll giggle and laugh a little bit when they ask him questions, because I heard him in a press conference and he's like, I can't give y'all the game plan. He's like, you guys are funny. All right, y'all just like 10 minutes. But anyway, McDermott be laughing sometimes because he be realizing like motherfuckers be trying to get his secrets, and he like, I'm not telling y'all of that shit. Like, hey,
right.
Excuse me. He like,
and again, he knows like I'm the defensive coordinator now. All the onus is on me. So he knows how big of a game it is. He knows the spotlight is on him. But again, as competitors, again, we're not NFL coaches, but we know when the lights are the brightest and you're going up against somebody good, you're going to bring your A game. He's like, oh, I'm playing against such and such. Oh, I'm going to be ready. Yeah. I got something for his ass.
Yeah. You're gonna get
and this is what it is.
Right. You're going to get A+ coaching, and you know what else you're going to get? All of your all-pro players, right? They might have been, my knee hurt this game. I'm going to give it my best. No, you're going to get the best of Poyer. You're going to get the best of Micah Hyde. You're going to get the best of Tre'Davious White. You're going to get the best of Matt Milano. You're going to get the best of Leonard Floyd. You're going to get the best of Greg Rousseau. And that's what gets me excited, is because I know the best players on that defense, they're going to take that challenge personally. Oh, y'all just dropped 70 last week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're not giving y'all no bulletin. We're not even giving y'all no bulletin board material. We're just going to shut up.
The whole football world is talking Miami, and rightfully so. I mean, the boys just dropped 70 on another professional team. So there's very good reason why the whole world is talking about Miami. But again, these Bills are like, yo, we still the Bills, though. We still got Josh Allen. We still got all these players on defense. We still got Stephon Diggs. Y'all can toot their horn all y'all want, but until they come in here and take it from us, we division champs 3-4 years running.
And y'all got to come to me first, number one.
Yeah, so it's okay. I think you're going to get the best of both teams. Miami want to be the top dog. They got to beat the top dog to get there. Bills want to hold their throne. They know Miami gonna come in hungry. They know they got a good team, so it's gonna be the best against the best.
All
I'm,
right.
I'm looking forward.
You know, we got a call in like 7 minutes. We got to hop on. So
Yeah, we
unfortunately, y'all, we gotta get straight to it. So we gonna go with predictions. I know our predictions was both a Bills W last week, but hopefully we can get a little closer in the numbers this week. Um, I'll let you go first because I think I have where I'm going for. But what's your prediction on the score and maybe just one player you feel like you can kind of feel like might go off in this game?
I don't think it's gonna be as high scoring as people think. Uh, um, I just feel like sometimes when you got so much anticipation of potential shootouts and points out the ass, don't always live up to that. So I don't think it's going to be a boring game, but I don't think it's going to be a 45-41 type of shootout. But I think both teams gets to the 20s. I think it's going to be an extremely close, extremely hard fought game. I'm thinking that it's going to be a 3-point game. So my guess is 27-24 Buffalo. But I do think they pull it out at home against the Dolphins.
Tyler Bass again?
Oh yeah.
And
Again, that's money.
yeah,
Money
Tyler,
bass.
I love Money Bass. Well, I'm going similar. I think both teams will score over 20, but I do have the Bills going over 30 just by 1 point. So my theory was 31-23. I'm big on Bills making a statement this week just because I think they want to wipe that taste out their mouth how they felt again week 1 against the Jets. You know, you played a divisional opponent already, and you kind of didn't do what you were supposed to do. So I feel like that and the combination of both sides of the ball being motivated to show something this week. One, the
Mhm.
Bills offense not getting talked about enough. They like, all right, cool. The other side, Bills defense, rightfully so. Miami is getting more hype right now, and that's what happens when you score 70 points. So they like bet, say less. So I think they're gonna be motivated to get them off the field. I still feel like Miami gonna move the ball. They're gonna get down there, but I think it's gonna be a little bend but don't break. There's going to be some send in the kitchen at times, but there's also going to be McDermott saying, I'm also back up. I'm going to give y'all about 15, 20 yards. I'm going to give y'all some three safety looks. So I think they're going to get some points, but I think some of those opportunities are going to go to field goals. Yeah, I think some of the times it might lead to field goals. And the one thing about both teams is if you want to beat the other team, you can't settle for too many field goals. So I think that will play a factor. But yeah, I got 31-23 Bills. I got the Bills pulling away in the fourth quarter. I believe it'll be tight for 3 quarters, but I believe in the fourth quarter when it's money time, Josh gonna make a couple of his Josh plays, whether it's running the ball, whether it's making a couple of those throws, where we like, okay, all right, there we go. Thank you, Josh. So, but I feel like it's gonna be an amazing game, though. I don't see it being a blowout either way. Um, Amazing game. I'm expecting us fans to obviously feed the energy.
Oh yeah.
It's probably gonna feel like the opener all over again. Because last time we was at the game,
And
even though
it was
it was the
yeah,
Raiders,
and this
man.
is a much
Like it was what it was. It was the Raiders.
game
Um,
on this week. So we're
yeah,
definitely gonna have season vibes.
yeah. It's gonna give home opener vibes. First divisional opponent at home. So like, and it's fans week, y'all. It's fan week. So
February now. But before we wrap up for the week, I was gonna switch it up a little bit. Instead of doing our little trip around the league like we normally do. I feel like we kind of got to touch on this NBA trade today for a hot minute.
yeah,
So with that Dame Lillard going to the Bucks, I
yeah,
mean, I saw that news come down,
yeah,
and I said, oh, Giannis finally got his man.
yeah.
Giannis finally started to roll with him.
Yeah, I peeped that, man. Obviously, in the middle of work. I will say for Milwaukee, I feel like it keeps them about where they're at, like a top 3 team in the East. The only thing that I wish they would have been able to do is maybe, and they can still do it, is keep a defender on that perimeter because I think one thing that helps Milwaukee come playoff time is that not only can they score and Giannis can create opportunities for other people, but they knew how to lock up for the last few seasons, and that was very
Holiday now hurts from a defensive
yeah. But
standpoint.
offensively, as most know, Now you giving Giannis that perfect person to kick out to. Oh, you want to crowd the lane? You want to put like 3 people's feet in the lane when I'm driving? I'm going to dish it off to Dame, and Dame is ready. No
Yeah.
dribble.
So I saw the trade. I'm like, oh, this made y'all the top dogs in the East.
Yeah.
I
So
don't any other. Okay, healthy. Let me preface by saying healthy. Healthy. I don't think any team in the East can touch that duo. I
it,
mean, I got two alpha dogs now that either one on any given night can drop 40, 50.
it to me, the only thing that'll get in their way is really playing against a sound defensive team that also can play tough offense. And honestly, there's only a couple teams that come to mind. And one team
It's
is
gonna be
Miami, because Miami plays physical. So I'll say Miami will be a fun battle with them. They don't really have a guard that can check Dame, but just from a physicality standpoint, they
yeah,
can
yeah.
and
Having Dame there, like that's also gonna stretch that floor some too. You be able to
right.
crowd the paint like before this put 4 dudes down low and
Yeah,
keep
you can't
Giannis
call
from
the
running.
paint. Yeah,
No, not when
yeah, yeah.
that man put
And you're not going to be able to guard Dame the way you want to. You're not going to be able to just jump out to the 3-point line and guard him from 30 feet, because all he's going to do, like Dame has now evolved into a smart point guard where he's willing to give the ball up. If you want to settle for Dame dropping 25, he'll be like, okay, I'll get my 10
yeah,
assists. I'll get my 8 assists. Like, go ahead and double team me. And Giannis, all
right.
he
And if you charge free, I can just dribble right around you like it's nothing.
well, that too, right? And I can throw, because the thing about Dame is his best player that he's ever played with in his career, and we'll get off this because I know we got to say adios, is CJ McCollum. And no disrespect to CJ McCollum, but that's the best player he's ever played with. Now he's getting a chance to play with arguably a top 3 player in the entire world.
Right.
Scary. Scary. But anyways, y'all, we I'm glad you definitely brought that up, because NBA season is right around the corner. I know not everybody are NBA fans, and we know the Sabres is coming too. So shout out to the Sabres getting off to a good
But that
start season. So it's gonna be a lot that we're gonna touch on more. Like I said, today just happened to be a day where we got some other things going on. But listen, y'all, it's Fins week. If you go into the game, bring your A game voice, right? Bring your A game tailgate. If you happen to run into either one of us, salute us, handshake, pictures, whatever y'all want to do. We there.
yeah, we roll out. We're gonna be there. But either way, we'll catch y'all next week. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna have to see y'all next week after this big dub.
Yeah, that's it. Fins week. Let's go Bills, and we appreciate y'all. Peace out.
Sure.